So this week's anime analysis is actually pretty simple. First of all, I watched all of Kobato Part 1, which is the first 12 episodes of the series, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. Now, I guess a lot of it is that Kobato herself is an amusingly innocent character, I guess. Well, I think this is a very Clamp thing, so I'm not exactly sure how to put my finger on it. But there was just something about her that was endearing. Otherwise, I was actually really quite, I was not expecting, references to other Clamp anime to pop up so, quickly and rapidly in there, I guess. Although this is quickly and rapidly from the point of view of somebody who goes through 12 episodes in a couple days, so, I'm not sure how quickly and rapidly it actually was, thinking back on it. But, I was quite entertained by that. Kind of regret not having the second part right now, but there's plenty of other great things around here to watch that I haven't watched yet, so I get to wait for it and hopefully remember it by the time part 2 comes out. Let's see. I also watched Great Teacher Onizuka discs 7 and 8. That would be 2 of the discs from the second season, I believe, which should leave only 2 more, so I'm getting pretty close to finishing that series. Discs 7 and 8 were more of the usual. This time a more rounded dose of Great Teacher Onizuka. I probably mentioned disc 6 last time. So my thoughts are, watching them, that they were pretty entertaining. They were very standard Great Teacher Onizuka per se. I use standard kind of lightly here because you hear that thing and you think, oh, a series that just does the same thing over and over. And Great Teacher Onizuka kind of does that, but it does it in a refreshing way each time, in my opinion. About the only thing that I would say was actually disappointing at this part, well, I guess there's a couple of things, and they're kind of spoilerific to talk about. And, you know, that's really my only problem with Great Teacher Onizuka. There's a couple little things here and there that really bug me. And I think y'all have experienced it. Well, I mean, maybe not all of y'all have watched enough anime to experience it yet, but you will come upon a series that is very popular to everybody, but something about it just rubs you the wrong way. Now, Great Teacher Onizuka isn't very bad in that regard. So it's still watchable and entertaining. It's just it leaves a kind of aftertaste, sort of. I don't know. That's the only way I could think to explain it. I am very curious to see where discs 9 and 10 go, especially if if they lead up to some sort of conclusion to the series, because I'm not quite sure if there needs to be one or would be one, so I guess we'll find out. And I guess the only other thing I watched was Slayer Season 1. I think I mentioned last week I had watched Slayer Season 4 with a friend, and in doing that I realized there was a lot of the first 3 seasons stuff that I don't remember. I remember the second a little bit and the third a bit more, but the first I almost felt like was completely gone. So I decided to rewatch it because there's a lot to their universe, and season 4 and 5 especially make a lot of references back to them. Now 5 I don't remember if it did a whole lot, but I really wanted I'll eventually rewatch 5 probably after I catch up to seasons 2 and 3. But there's a lot of stuff to watch right now, and I may take a little break from Slayers as I explore some other stuff, and I guess the rest of the month. You know, this week I only got Night Raid 1931, and I don't know if I'm excited about watching that or not because I'm not sure what it's about, but JoJo's Bizarre Adventure I want to watch, so I may skip Slayer stuff this time. One thing I noticed is that the dub in the first season wasn't spectacular, and this is the Funimation first season, so I'm wondering if Funimation pretty much just re-released the previous disc that I already had and didn't redub it, maybe? I'm not entirely sure. And it's not that there's any specific part that's bad, other than you can feel like, well, I guess this specific character's voice acting is generally weak. This scene should have had a lot more energy in it, and there wasn't much at all, etc. I'm wondering if it was a really early dub for a dubbing company or something like that. It's kind of interesting to think about how things like that end up getting made. You know, what the process is where that went out the door, and you're like, you know, as a Slayers fan looking back on it, I kind of wish there was more emotion in this scene and that. I'm wondering if they do a whole lot of that now, or if maybe just the voice actors kind of know how to pick up on what the characters are supposed to be feeling and expressing it better. I bet there's documentaries out there that I just haven't seen. Anyways, it was very interesting rewatching it, and very alarming just how little I remembered about it. Usually I consider not having to revisit anime I've watched before, because I can usually spoil it big time. And I guess I remembered enough about the first season to maybe spoil a couple things, but I just didn't remember anything about the second half. What's up with that? Anyways, that's pretty much everything I watched this week. It ended up not being terribly much, because I just had a lot of stuff I've been doing. It's been nice and busy at home. By nice, I mean tiringly nice, or whatever. But productive, because stuff gets done. So that stuff's done. Although this weekend I am getting together with friends, so that may interrupt things. I guess we'll have to see what happens then.